Now, we all know what happened to Humpty Dumpty, apart from a child I heard about once who didn't see it coming and was visibly shocked to see him descend when the teacher nudged him off the table. Actually, if you've got a spare 5 minutes, it's worth Googling the meaning behind dear old Humpty. It's fascinating stuff. If those minutes aren't spare to you, or you just have more of a life, I'll briefly fill you in. According to one source, Humpty Dumpty was a military cannon in the Civil War at Colchester. As the nursery rhyme alludes to, Humpty Dumpty experienced a vast amount of artillery fire on his section on the wall, making it unable to support the weight of the cannon any longer. As a result, Humpty came tumbling to the ground and was instantly smashed into several pieces. Try as they might, none of the king's men would be able to fix such a level of destruction caused to the cannon. Therefore, Humpty Dumpty remained inoperable, and the king's army would proceed to lose the war the following year. Now, you may be sitting there thinking, why is he telling me all this? I was beginning to wonder myself. But whilst nursery rhymes sometimes have elements of historical truth in them, the fall of Peter back in the time of Jesus was sadly 100% fact. As the new historically accurate tale goes, a true story, poor old Peter had a great fall, and he couldn't cope with it all. But when the Lord sent the Spirit was when Peter was put back together again. His fall was that he denied knowing Jesus in the first place, even though he said he'd never do that. At the time, knowing all he'd so bravely said, he must have felt a broken man. But as it says in our little rhyme, it was when the Lord sent the Holy Spirit that Peter was put back together again. The same man who couldn't say he knew Jesus to individuals couldn't stop talking about him to the crowds, and the difference was the Holy Spirit. Today is Pentecost, when we remember the pouring out of the Holy Spirit on those early believers and the difference that made to them all, so that subsequently there were a whole load more believers by the time this remarkable episode had finished. The Lord knows how we're doing this morning. He's aware of the broken bits and pieces that can affect our lives. He wants to come in and help us, and the Holy Spirit is the helper who will make such a difference to our lives if we belong to Jesus. So even in our brokenness, let's be open to the work of the Holy Spirit in our lives and know his help and restoration.